You don't fuck with necro.
Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep. And Black Clover chapter 213 dropped, and I really don't know how to feel about it. This arc is kind of like the war arc in Naruto, except the exact opposite, where the majority of the arc is fantastic, but the ending is a little underwhelming instead of the other way around. I mean, it's nice, but I just can't help but feel it ended too abruptly and positively. It was like this. Hey, I know we killed your leader and tried to brutally murder your people in a raging fit of revenge and ended civilization as you know it, and that really sucked, but we're not mad anymore, so we'll be on our way now, bye! Okay, thanks for coming, let's do this again sometime. Like, for real, that's how you end the greatest arc of your manga? The end of the entire first part is that?
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
Nah, I'm kidding. It wasn't all that bad. It didn't ruin the arc, and it was fire up to this point. We all know that this Black Clover arc was amazing. I just feel like the ending was a little underwhelming. It left too many open-ended questions in the air and didn't answer a few. But we did get confirmation on a few things. Some very interesting things, in fact. So let's talk about that. For one, we got to see how the Demon Dweller sword really works. We saw Licht use it to connect all the elves together using union magic. He almost used it like a wand of some sort. It has been mentioned back in chapter 210 that this was also possible, but it's one thing to say it, but it's another to do it. Now this sort of felt like some ninshu type shit. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it really reminded me of the concept of ninshu in Naruto, where you connect your feelings and everyone can understand what is going on and how people think about each other and how they feel. When Licht said all would understand with the use of this spell being casted. Also, regarding the swords, Licht said the swords connect all those who are bonded with them, and at this point I don't think anyone is more bonded to those swords than Asta. So does this mean he's connected to all the elves now? What does this say about the future or the future of the anime in general? For example, now that we know Licht has confirmed that his swords are connected to the individual, and the reason why the swords became anti-magic in the first place is due to the demon. Asta uses anti-magic demon powers, and that is why he is connected to the devil. Maybe that is why the demon himself said he is the closest person to Asta. This kinda confirms the theory that these two are connected and bonded one way or another. Is it blood magic, much like how in real life where Tabata got inspired from this concept, or is it something else? Now another thing I want to talk about is some analysis or another theory regarding Asta having no mana, as I've already discussed it several times on this channel, and if you really want to go balls deep analysis on what exactly we learned in this arc and everything that we know about this as a community, watch my last Black Clover last week where I explained everything on who the demon is in Asta's grimoire. Anyway, remember that really ugly looking dude and his brother with the magical snowman? Well, they were trying to steal mana from children. Sounds like a really dumb plan, but that's what they were doing, and it relates to what's going on here. What if Asta had the same thing happen to him? It's not impossible that that wasn't the first time someone has ever attempted such an awful crime, and it's the only way it could logically make sense for him to be the only person in existence on the face of the planet with no mana, or is he? For the theory to make sense, there would likely have to be a whole crowd of people who grew up with the same limitations as Asta did. So what if there are no magic people? An interesting thought to think about. But other theories exist on the topic as well, like the devil and Asta are bonded together, as I mentioned. What if the anti-magic devil has been siphoning Asta's mana ever since he was born because they are bonded? Licht said the swords bond with the person that is connected to. Asta's clearly bonded to the swords. I mean, it's not out of the question, as the idea 100% now exists in the Black Clover universe. A while back, we found out the 5-leaf Clover grimoire don't disappear when the owner dies, or so we thought. But what if the 5-leaf is owned by the devil and Asta is just sort of the co-owner because they're connected? It's possible that the 5-leaf didn't disappear because the devil that owns it hasn't died, or maybe this rule doesn't apply no longer. It was originally Licht's back when it was a 4-leaf, but when Licht had the chance to take it back, he didn't go for it. He said that grimoire no longer longer belongs to me. And also in this chapter he says to Asta, just keep it, meaning it's owned by the devil now. I don't ever think Asta is the owner anymore. It used to seem like that way because that's how the grimoire worked, but 5 leaves run by their own set of rules and disregard the others. I believe or tend to think that the devil is linked with the grimoire, since he once told Asta that if he dies they both kind of will die. That's why he doesn't want it to happen. So it appears as though the link between everyone is homogeneous. We can pretty much forget about what we know about the grimoire when it comes to the 5 leaves, since the devil is the owner. Even if he dies, Asta wouldn't be affected. Now just one more thing to mention and go over, then I can get into something I've really been wanting to talk about. So you know the elves left, right? They left in this chapter, right? They went back to the afterlife, which confirms there is in fact an afterlife in Black Clover, a detail that could somehow be important later on in an arc. Now I'm gonna hold on to that fact. However, Licht should not be going with them. Has anyone even thought about that whilst reading this chapter? He has a real artificial body just like Raya and the others. He has never had a human soul interfering with his elf soul in that body. He doesn't share it. There's no Patri William type shit going on with it. So why is he leaving? It doesn't really make any sense and we get no explanation. When Asta slashes the tree, all of the elves sharing bodies with humans are supposed to move on to the afterlife after being shown the truth, but that shouldn't include Licht himself. This makes me wonder about Licht himself and how powerful he really is. Is he somehow able to go from one life to the next just like that? If so, why can't the other elves do that, or can they? I mean, I don't know what's going on. This chapter really gave me more questions than answers. In short, I think what happened in this chapter, while nice to see, was kind of an ass pull. Kind of bullshit. It didn't ruin the arc for me. This is still the best thing in Shonen Jump right now, but the ending isn't very tunnel visioning, it seems. It's like I think Tabata's editor is doing too much and guiding Tabata's directions, and it might not be good for this series. I think Tabata is so fast paced with the writing of Black Clover that he's forget about some of the exposition and plot that he's told us from beforehand, and then questions don't end up getting answered. I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Have any of you questioned this stuff?
Asking all them questions. Asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements.
But I digress. We're kind of getting off topic for a bit. Now, Julius Novachrono, he's a hot topic right now, since we're about to get the real good stuff with him in the anime. But one thing I have to wonder is, why did he let himself die? I love Julius. He was such a great character. He was a savage and kind at the same time. But we did not see enough of him, like, at all. Tabata chose to kill him off in this arc, which at first I thought, you know, it was leading to something bigger in the near future. But then it hit me. He didn't have to die, man. He could have used his time magic to heal the stab wound, could he not? He did that in the fight. He healed that damage done to his face. Why couldn't he heal the stab wound? He could have saved himself and be around to tell the tale of how he took down the leader of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, gain more power and control in the kingdom, and then manipulate everything a bit more to end discrimination. Now, I have a theory video coming out on next week Tuesday and Wednesday, so be sure to hit the notification button to watch the video where I will explain the real reason why Julius must have killed himself and to fix this plot hole. Now, of course, we can argue my friend Tabata, he called me up, he's going to say, you know, I made it seem as though Julius used up too much magic. But I mean, he's the wizard king. He stores up magic and he steals magic. You know, he has magic reserves through the roof, right? I mean, how did he stop that light magic within 2 seconds? Besides all the Chrono status abilities and spells he could have used, the spells that protected everyone, what magic did he expend? What was he doing when he was flying around? I thought that was like breathing if he had strong enough magic power. I don't really know what's going on anymore. I got so many questions regarding this arc. I know you guys are gonna get angry at me and be like, why is anime boldly questioning everything? This arc was amazing. But fam, man, there's like little holes here and there, and I'm dropping in these holes, bro. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Sometimes I feel like my friend Tabata just didn't know where to go with his character, or like, you know, the elves wouldn't have been a big threat if this guy was around. He would destroy them in 1 second on his own. I mean, I'm all for making a threat stronger so the protagonist can get stronger too. That is how shonen writing is done. But when you gotta kill off the most powerful mage in the series before we really got to see them do much just so the other characters can progress, I don't know, man. Maybe I just missed this, man. This wonderful, truly magnificent, magic admiring fanboy of mine. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to get emotional in this review of all things. I didn't admit it. Julius, What? So anyway, now that I got that out of my system, right, can I just commend the animators working on the anime for a second? Since episode 84, we've seen a dramatic improvement in quality, whether it's in the artwork or in the animation or both. We've seen the anime surpass its limits again and again lately. First, we got to see the fight with Yuno and Rill, which was incredible. Then we get to see a fight between Leona and Raya, which was way nicer than it had been, right? You know, it's amazing. Now we're gonna get Julius and Patri. This might be the best looking fight. Like, oh my god, how Black Clover, how are you gonna do this? You know, back to back bangers, back to back fights. This arc was great. I don't know what to say, guys, but seriously, going back to the chapter, another question I have is, right, why didn't Tabata show the other 5-leaf clover the devil created? Why hasn't he shown us where that went? Did it disappear? Did it get destroyed? How did William Vengeance get another grimoire out of nowhere? The guy was holding his book. I get that and everything, but you know, come on man, you haven't explained these questions that we have. And then Patri's decided to kill himself, which I understand. It's a redemption story. I predicted that he's gonna die. We all knew Patri was gonna die. He had 5 red flags going on about him, right? Now William Vengeance is back, but the public think William Vengeance is the one that saved everyone because he's the one that used the power of licht, but we know Asta is the one that saved everyone, and Yami. So who's gonna be the next Wizard King? The public is gonna choose William Vengeance, but we don't want William Vengeance, fam. We want Nozalo Fuga Leon. Also, we didn't even get to see Licht see Mimosa look like Tetia. He's just so avid to go back to Tetia in the afterlife. The first Wizard King, I hope in the next chapter he needs to explain everything to everyone, what happened in the past, how corrupt the monarchy system is. He needs to mention Mimosa. I mean, where's that foreshadowing gone? Why is Tabata, he hasn't answered 3 major questions right now, and I feel like it's rushed. I honestly do. Also, Yuno has been severely nerfed. Asta got a buff. Asta's buff is permanent. He has that new spell that he gained in this chapter, but Yuno's reincarnation of the baby that was Licht's child, right, that's gone forever. Yuno has been severely nerfed and Asta got buffed, so they may be equal now, and Yuno won't have that sword power anymore. He won't have the elf transformation anymore. So I think people will be happy with that, because people, I was thinking this myself, Yuno is a bit too OP, a bit too fast. But anyway guys, that's everything I wanted to say for this week's chapter. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. We are also going to talk about the Julius and Patri fight on Tuesday, so be sure to come back to the channel on Tuesday. Make sure to have the notification button on, because we're gonna explain what's going on and we're gonna react to it. I hope the animation is gonna be really amazing, because it's getting done by a freaking legend. You know what I'm saying? So I'll talk to you guys later next week as usual. Bye bye.